Hello, hello.
Hello, I am so excited. We return again. I think we did an impromptu Kim Myers at Slash and Bash a few weeks ago, but it's been a while. We've been able to hang out at a few cons, but we haven't done a DK and the Bees horror buzz. And here we are today. And
That's
you've
right.
been busy, I've been busy. And our
Yeah.
guest today, we got some exciting things going on with him in the crypt that we're excited to talk about.
Now let's see. Who do we have as our guest today?
It's from a little franchise some people may have heard about.
Hmm.
Um,
Something to do with
you
some
had Star
space.
Wars in the 80s and something about horror in the 80s and the late 70s was great. And I think this franchise has not only stapled itself in the moment then, but been beloved over time. Even more by the hardcore fans that break it down. There's video games, there's the talented people, and we're going to show off some pieces. You see the pieces Michael Toth did behind me, skateboard decks. We got the xenomorph, the alien warrior from 1986. Aliens with Sigourney Weaver, Michael Biehn, Lance Henriksen. The list goes on of talents, and this guy was right in the mix, and he was a big part of this franchise. And I'm so excited that he'll be joining me at Scarefest.
All
And
right.
he's all the way out in the UK. You can check him out on Scarefest TV Friday. We're going to make sure we announce that. Are we bringing him up now? Do I need
Let's
to have the
bring
cheer
him
ready?
on. You bring him on now.
All right, you bring him on. I have the cheer ready. Ladies and gentlemen, Carl Toop, the Alien Warrior, 1986 Aliens, the man, the sci-fi horror legend.
Yay.
You,
Awesome.
That was short.
Oh, what, you want a couple hours more?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Oh, yep. So
we're
we got
so excited, Carl. All these guys that I have working on the team in Doomsday's Crypt, when I said the xenomorph from Aliens, the Alien Warrior was going to be sitting with me, was like, oh my God, I can't wait to work on something. And we're going to show the one.
It's pretty inspiring character, I think. It's I think it's inspired a lot of artists, the actual creature itself. It's when we look at the origins of it, Geiger, when he produced the original, it's amazing artwork. I don't know if you ever seen what he's got in his museum. It's incredible. But yeah, it's a great inspiration for artists, I think, the creature. So
yeah, I mean that everything about the look, the mouth and the goo in between it, and just the
and there's so much detail in there. It's and it's all it is rubber, really. But they got so much detail into it. The team, it was incredible. Yeah.
You and Tigger made out of rubber.
Yep.
Yeah. So Carl Toop. So I had the great fortune of meeting Carl Toop. We have the same rep for conventions, and there's Carl attacking me.
Yeah.
So we had
Alien for Freddie in that picture. Freddie.
Freddie. And I just instantly fell in love. He's such a wonderful, lovely gentleman.
You're such a lovely, gentle lady.
Gentle? Okay.
Well,
yeah. I'll pay you later.
I was winning there, so I can.
There we go.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Carl, so first of all, just to fill audience in, what year was Aliens filmed?
Well, we actually filmed in 1985. It was released in 1986. So I was filming for about 6 months in the UK with it. It was in Pinewood Studios, where they film a lot of James Bond. I think at the same time they were doing the Little Shop of Horrors.
Okay.
That was a good mix. We had the stormtroopers and not stormtroopers, the Marines and the 1950s crazes. So it was great. That was 85. We did that. Yeah.
1985. So it's even older than mine. Older than Elm Street 5.
I'd like to say it was even older than me. So.
There you go.
Well, 86 and 87 has to be my personal favorite for films that came out. I think films that came out between 86 and 87.
Yeah, well, I think that was a transition period into like the computer world. So I think those last couple of years was really the last time we were making films. It real actors, you know, stuntmen and stuff like that. So there's a bit more. It was a different way of filming stuff. So I think that was what made the films in those years quite interesting, because they were trying to resist the computer influence, but they knew it was coming. So
Yeah.
But the grittiness that the 80s movies brought, and 86, the pinnacle of grittiness. And Aliens definitely brought that. And sequels were not easy, but you mentioned Star Wars and Stormtroopers, but it was a big time for space, whether it was Star Trek movies, Star Wars movies, Aliens.
I think people were struggling with the sequels because there had been a few flops before. So I think anyone who was taking on a sequel at that time, it was a real. They knew they had a real challenge, on their hands. So I think they really put every effort they did into those sequels at that period. Because when I got the role, it was like, oh, it's the sequel to Aliens. So I was great that I got the job, but it was just it's a sequel, so was it going to be a success or not? So, which, like any film, we don't know, do you?
You never know. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's taboo, and it was a lot of years later too. It was a lot of years in the works for that film.
Yeah. Well, I think it was about 6 years after the first one.
And that was a long time back in the day without the internet and stuff. People don't remember things quite like they do now.
Yeah. So, Carl, had you seen Aliens?
I was at college, because I was dance college in London. Right. And the group of us, we all went down to the cinema to see Aliens. And, these crazy dancers, as soon as it came out the stomach, all screaming and dancing around the cinema, like panicky. It was a great film.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you had no clue. You had no clue at the time that you would be playing.
And it wasn't really in my horizons, really, because I was trained as a dancer.
Right.
So that hadn't really come into my mind of doing stunt work like that and wire work. So no, we just gone along for a great evening and watched the film. So yeah, when I heard about getting the film, it was I did go back. My memory was going back to the first one. So,
right.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Your career is so much more, and what you do in life is so much more than being the alien warrior. How did you land that role? Because it seems so off from who you are.
Well,
it seems like a unique story you could tell.
Yeah, well, I trained as a dancer, so I was doing classic jazz, singing, acting, and everything. And my aim was really to go into the West End, which is like the London theatre land. And I was lucky enough to sort of get my first job out of college into the West End, which was a musical called Call Me Madam. It was based in the 1950s, and it was a great musical to do for dancers, because there's a lot of dancing in it, and we were a big part of the actual musical itself. And then I went on to do other West Ends shows. We did TV and stuff like that. I was doing cabaret in Europe, and I got audition for a Tom Stoppard play, which is called Jumpers. Very, very strange play, but I still don't know what it was about. But one of my roles was as an astronaut, and they had me on wires just going across the back of the stage to the Space Odyssey 2000. Weird. I don't know why I was going across, but they paid me to do it, so I did it.
You got wire training. That's a xenomorph.
Sorry.
I was saying, I was just making a joke. I said he knows wires. He knows how to land. He's got some skills. That's a xenomorph.
Yeah, and I was probably light enough for the guy who was pulling me up to lift me up, so that's why I got that role. And then my agent just phoned up and said, "You're doing wire work, and they're looking for someone they're looking for slim, agile people to do wire work in a film sequel called Aliens. Would you like to go along?" I said, "Well, why not?" I hadn't even thought about doing it, and went along with a friend of mine. We got to, it was the audition was at Pinewood Studios, and we walk in, and I was like, there's about 300 other people going for this job. So, well, okay, we're here now. We'll just go, have a bit of fun. And James Cameron was there, and the Stan Winston, his crew were there, and but basically the first audition, I think, was just try and be an alien, walk and move like an alien. Well, I don't know. I'm having.
How did you walk and move
I
like
don't
an
know.
alien?
I just. Yeah. We were just
Until-
messing around, really. I was there for a laugh in the end. And
Did you make any sounds in your
no,
audition?
no, they weren't asking for sounds at that point. But luckily, I didn't have any lines in the film anyway, so it didn't make
Right.
much difference. But then they asked us to climb up this scaffolding, and they wired us up. And it must have been it was the height of a studio, which I suppose about 12 meters. And then they just said jump.
Ah.
Yeah, move again like an alien. So I just jumped. You know, and it's amazing what you can do when you're at these auditions. It's just like there's this adrenaline rush, and I need that job. Just go for it. So I leapt off the scaffolding, and I obviously moved how they wanted me to do it. So I think we did 4 auditions all in all. We were called back, and I think they initially wanted about 12 dancers to do it. And I think they was already thinking about budget cuts and stuff. So they had one. They wanted one, and I got the job. I was so happy, and I don't know how I got it, but
It was your fate. It was your fate.
yeah, no, it was. It was just. I couldn't believe it. Actually, it was amazing, and really, that's how I got it. And I suppose I didn't really take it serious because I just didn't think I had the chances of me getting it with all these other people there. You know, there are other stunt people there, but I think one of the reasons I got it was because I was in those days fairly slim.
You still are, and you know it.
Well,
But you could.
It's dripping around the middle a bit at the moment. There you go.
I saw that online. Is that your suit? Can you see
Yes,
this?
that was my suit. Yeah, it's not very glamorous, is it? That's the guy. He's got it in his collection. There's another one that's in Paris at the moment. James Cameron's got it's an exhibition of all his work from all his films, and it's in Paris. There's Cinémathèque, and I was lucky enough to be invited over to see the exhibition, and my costume was there. So
that costume, is it rubber then?
Yeah, all it basically was a black lycra bodysuit, and they'd stuck on these rubber sections on it.
Right.
So you slipped into that, and then they added on the extra bits like the rib cage and the waist pipes coming out the back, and then the neck. It's because my face was my neck, and then the head on top, and then they had the hands and the feet. So it's it's pretty weird.
Your first time doing like suited work, and what did it feel like to actually? I mean, I'm sure now you can embrace it even more because of how iconic the role became, and nobody expected a sequel to do as well as it did, and how long it took afterwards. So
I love that show. So
putting on that suit and becoming the xenomorph, did you feel like it really put you into another character that you'd never been?
Yeah, it was an honor to do it. It was an honor to do it, I must admit, because when I turned up for the first day, I just had Stan Winston and his crew around me, and they were giving me the costume. We were working it together. They were showing me, because there was Alex Gillis and the other guy, so he'll come to me, and they were helping me with the movement in the costume and that. And the hardest bit basic was the head, because I had a big bit sticking out the back and at the front. So if I turned my head, I could was whacking the set or whacking the other actors and that. So it was learning to use the head properly. The hands as well, because the had really long like rubber fingers on it. So if you knocked it, they bent. So it looked, you could see that it was a costume. So it was quite a tricky costume to work. It was comfortable though. It was a comfortable costume. It was, it's fairly light.
Off screen, the xenomorph was just messing things up.
Yeah,
so backstage. A path of destruction for the xenomorph, on or off camera. Once you're in that suit, huh?
Well, yeah. Once I was in it, that was it. They left me in it all day, and it was like fed me through a straw sometimes.
Seriously. So Carl, so looking at this image here, can you guys see that little hand moving around? Does that show for you guys or no?
My pointer.
Let's see.
Oh, there it is. Whoa, look at that.
Is that amazing?
That is so amazing. Yeah. So
Lonnie McCullum and Jessica McCullum, we got 5 of these coming to Scarefest with the signing plate for Carl. You guys are going to definitely want to be on top of these because in person, I can't tell you how cool these things are.
Turn it sideways again. Let's see. That is so cool.
Is that
So
good?
cool.
Only
It's
through
really
Doomsday Crypt, you guys. You'll see this. But Carl, so I wanted to ask you, so there's the big, huge thing in the front and the big thing in the back. So is your actual face just in what looks like the neck?
That's my neck. Yeah, wait, sorry. I'm pointing. Yeah, where the neck is.
Yeah, that's where your face.
Oh, look what I've got.
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, this is my head here.
Ah, okay. And so that's more like a hat on top.
Yeah, and it was like a helmet, really. It was, so yeah, it was getting the balance, really, of the head initially. Once you got that, you're having to use your neck muscles and everything to control it. One of the main problems with that was my vision, because I had the vision was, I just had a very small slit to watch out, and it just went straight ahead. I couldn't see side to side. So by the time they took the helmet off at the end of the head off at the end of the day, my eyes had to readjust. So it took me about half an hour for my eyes to settle down, and because they were like wobbling like this. So once they settled down, it's about half an hour it took. But that was the only weird thing, really.
That is odd. John, can we make Carl bigger? For some reason, we're huge and Carl looks so small.
Yeah, we'll put him on solo.
Solo, or we can be to the sides. Ah, there he is. Well, isn't there one where we can be small on the sides? Like
there's
where it's big Carl and small. No, yeah. So make him in the middle.
We can. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yay. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, Carl,
I'm learning, B. You see that? You see how quick that was? That was pretty good.
Very
John,
good. I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
John, we should both turn our head that way so it looks like we're looking at his screen. You know, and if you watch TV in Japan, they always have no. You look straight at us.
Do more than walk and chew gum, Beatrice. What the heck?
Does it look like I'm looking at him now? I'm actually just looking at my kitchen, but does this look like I'm looking at Carl? Anyway, okay, so Carl, so your face is in the neck. You're looking like that. Now, the alien, when it moves and stuff, when its mouth would open and stuff, is that
was hydraulics? They had like if the mouse or face was moving, I had like two guys behind me with they were pumping hydraulics behind me, moving the head that way. It was it was well hidden.
Did any of the spittle and the stuff ever land on you? Like,
well, how they used to do that? What that basically was lubricating jelly. You know, they used to buy 5-gallon tubs of it, and just before they'd film it, just they sort of start turning the camera, and then the guy who's in charge of this lubricating jelly would just get a whole handful like this and just throw it right into the face. So it'd be going into the mask, into the mouth, and then just dripping down. It didn't last that long, the drip, but I was lubricated quite a bit during the film. So yeah.
I mean, in '85, when you're filming, 85, the legends you worked with, though. I mean, how much time were you able to spend with James Cameron right there?
Yeah, well, James Cameron,
rest in peace, one of my favorites. Sigourney Weaver, Lance Henriksen. I mean, the list goes on. And it was early, in a sense, in their careers. I mean, Michael Biehn had just gotten out of Terminator. And, I mean...
Yeah, because you had
such a great cast,
Payne and it was all big, but more of them was beginning of their career. It was their first big job. I was with them throughout the filming period, but because I was in costume, I was set aside until they needed me to come in and do what I never needed to do, if it was with the pilot Pharaoh or grabbing Cynthia or something. I was always there, but we were always in costume. So the only time we really got to see each other was when we went to the canteen, and even then I always usually had my head on because I had to be ready to start filming straight after. So but I was like Sigourney. We did one scene. They didn't actually use it in the film, but it was in the medical room, and I was under a bench. She was on the under the other bench with Newt, Carrie Henn, and we must have been there for about half an hour, and we were just sort of chatting away. And I'm thinking, hang on, I'm here. little old me, and I'm talking to Sigourney Weaver, this mega star, and it was incredible. So moments like that for me, they're resting with me forever. It's And happy birthday to Sigourney Weaver. It was her birthday yesterday, so that was the 8th of
well, let's go back to Sigourney Weaver. Yay! Yeah. John, you missed your cue.
It's right. I'm so bad. Here we go. Sigourney Weaver. Happy birthday. Well, one of my favorites, her, and also, the fact that her and Linda Hamilton, it was probably 84, 85, and 86 was the year of the strong women. Also, Beatrice, you were in a little movie called Quarantine where she had a little bit of a Sarah Connor, Ripley role. But yeah, what they did with the lead females and how strong Sigourney Weaver was in that film, and a well-polished character just like Linda Hamilton, which Michael Biehn, will just give him a shout out, was like back to back with probably the two strongest women in cinematic history. Can we at least agree on that? If there's two roles, Sarah Connor and Ellen Ripley, that's two good lead females, and you being able to act with them in the beginning of their careers, really 85 when you're filming it's right off of Terminator. I don't know how much the buzz was with that and him being on set, and then Sigourney Weaver after Alien and all the work she did as well. Bill Paxton, Weird Science. Did you feel any stress going into that situation? Did you know these people like that, or were you pretty cool about it?
I was pretty cool, I suppose. Sigourney Weaver's the one that got to me when I saw her the first day, and it's like takes your breath. Because I think all of us young men at that stage were in sort of partly in love with her. It was a bit of a fantasy lady, wasn't she? So that was
how he says lady.
Already, smart, beautiful.
It's so cute how you said fantasy lady, and already people have commented on your accent. They all love your accent, Carl.
Yeah.
He actually has a really rough Bronx accent. He's just putting this one on. I'm just
needs a Carl's. You need a show just called Carl's Accent, and you just whip out some sentences for people, some poetry.
I've been working on it for years.
Carl can read a box of cereal, and it'll probably sound lovely, right? So. Yeah.
So getting to know Carl Toop a little bit now. You're obviously out in the France. You said now, but you're out there. And what does Carl Toop do now? Is it still the acting? Is it something you got a bug for? And
Carl
with everything going on, you want to get back into it, or
you hear that, John? Carl Toop is a chef.
He's a chef.
I'm a chef.
Oh my God! I'm gonna bring like a hot pan and everything. We're gonna be cooking in the booth, man. Maybe we'll serve some food.
I was going to maybe try and do that tonight, but it was too much stage setting, I think, to try and do the cooking and speak at the same time. But why not in the future?
If anybody could do it, it'd be the alien warrior.
Yeah, in the alien kitchen. Yeah.
You know what? I love cooking too, Carl. Maybe we'll have a show. Cooking with the alien and sister, Amanda Kruger or something.
Sounds good.
Beatrice is quite the caterer herself. I seen her put on a party and whip up some pretty interesting dishes and really creative. And
she definitely knows her food. Definitely knows her food.
In LA,
a couple of times to restaurants with her, and she definitely knows what's on the menu. So
yes,
she's a good guide.
I think Carl, we could do. You'll do like the European, and I'll do like the Asian, and we could make quite the thing together. So before we go any further, I'm going to pose our question. So Carl has no idea what these questions are, and he's going to have to choose from question 1, 2, or 3. We like to throw in something that's just a little different, because most shows we are always asked, oh, what was it like to work with, in my case, Robert Englund, with your case, Sigourney Weaver, or so just for something different. So do you choose question number 1, 2, or 3?
2.
Okay, question number 2, and is there. If you had to be an animal, mammal, bird, fish, just not human, what animal would you be and why?
I think I'd probably be something like a fish. It's always intrigued me. I love scuba diving.
Okay.
And I think just to be in the water. I just get a wonderful feeling when I'm in the water scuba diving. There's this freedom. I feel your body's it just feels so free. There's no restrictions to it. It's you can just move. The only problem is breathing.
Right.
So I think if I was a fish, I'd be able to breathe underwater and move my body how I want to move my body with ease.
Okay.
But I think a fish.
Okay. Carl
Or some
Toop,
a dolphin or something. Or
yeah, dolphin. When you said fish, especially after we talked about food, I was thinking, so but a dolphin,
probably a dolphin. Let's say a dolphin then.
Yeah, because dolphins they get to leap and
they come out for air occasionally, and and they're pretty playful, aren't they? So
right, and they're sort of the dancers of the water.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, very very graceful.
But speaking of water, so back to this. So this famous scene here. Oh my goodness, what was that like? And what was the set? What were you in water?
Well, it was at Pinewood. They built a big. It was quite a big pool area, but it was quite shallow. It was probably about 60, 70 centimeters. I don't know what that is in inches, but it's probably about 2.5, 3 feet.
Okay.
Deep, because with Carrie, she came up to her chest, and I think she was about 7 or 8 at the time. So imagine that coming up to her chest. It was warm. The water was warm. Yeah, we had that luxury, and there was a lot of preparation for that scene with the lighting, the movement of my tail, because my tail had to be I think it was on a fishing line.
Right.
So we had to get that coordinated with the water coming out at the right moment, and working with Carrie. Carrie was great. She just went along with everything. So it was. I think we were more scared of scaring her,
right?
And she was just got on with it, and just did everything. She wasn't scared at all. But yeah, no, the water scene was good. But problem I had with the first time I went under, because I had to basically go down on my side, because if I just crouched down, my head would have been sticking out of the water. So because it was only shallow, so I had to basically lie down, and as I lied down, the head filled up with water.
Oh no!
So that just sunk straight down to the bottom.
Oh my goodness!
So I'm trying to put it up. James Cameron, the signal for me to come up was he tap on the side of the pool, so I could hear that.
Right.
And he was tapping, and I wasn't coming up. So I managed to get my hand up, and I think they sort of realised after about 30 seconds that there was a slight problem. Let's get him out.
Oh my gosh! You could have totally drowned if that. Right?
Yeah, no, I just felt my head go whack straight down to the bottom, because it just filled up so quickly. And then they readjusted. I think they made holes in the head so that the water would easily flow through it when I managed to lift it up. But also I had to go under the water, and then they had to let the water go still. So I had to give it time, or James Cameron gave me my signal, but I had to be under enough time for the water to be absolutely calm before I came up. So that was quite a challenge in itself, just to stay under that long and then come up and do the action. But no, it was a great scene. I think one of the best scenes in the film. But
it's an iconic scene. I'm guessing this probably answers Gary's question as well with it all. The scary scene, it sounds like that probably was, in a sense, or the most intense for you.
Yeah, it was. It was, because there was a lot dependent. It was just me and her.
Right.
We had to get it right, and I was. You don't want to waste time either. There was always this pressure on the film, get it done. But some cases, because it was improvised slightly, that scene,
right,
had to be done a couple of times just to get the action, the movement of the tail right with the body, and Carrie turning around at the right moment. But I think we got it right in the end. I think it did.
It looked absolutely fabulous. But I'm thinking, so I mean, because working in water that way, and the suit was. Did they have a second suit for that scene, or was it the same one?
No, it was the same. I know it was all the same suit. Yeah.
Wow. So what do we get in
thought
it?
the head was, I thought the head was going to be different, but I didn't check. I just sort of.
But
thought
then there was no chance of electrocution. I mean, like the hydraulics or whatever that would make things move.
Oh no, the hydraulics was pressure. They pump with there was no electrics connected. But on that scene, all I had was my tail was connected to a fish wire, and then there was someone off scene, and they pulled it up at the same time. As you can see in that photograph, the tails
is
curled round, and that where it's obviously at the highest, that's where the fish wire was.
I think honestly, if I can say so myself, I think that era, the 80s film, I mean, Aliens, yeah, I guess it's horror, right? It's in the horror genre, right?
But it's horror, action, and sci-fi.
Action, sci-fi.
I think they got the three into that one film. I think,
which is fabulous for you because you can go to all different types of shows. But the thing that I love about that era, and that I'm learning to appreciate more and more and more, is by the 80s, our film technique was quite advanced from the 60s Godzilla and things like the rubber suits that were really just blobby little rubber suits, which have their charm of their own for sure.
They have their charm,
but they're very fake looking, and that's part of his charm. And then now we've got all this totally slick computerized stuff. 80s was like, I think, the height of creativity on all the special effects, people, all the costume, the makeup, all that kind of stuff. They had to be so creative because things were starting to look so much more realistic, which Aliens is
I think the imaging on televisions, that it was becoming more, it was HD then, but it was becoming more, you could see more of the detail and stuff. So people were having, they were having to work harder to get the lighting exactly right, getting the effects right, the costumes right. Every detail had to be, had to be good and pass scrutiny. People were really watching now because the detail was there. So. Shall I just turn a light on? I seem to be in a bit of the dark there. So.
The old tube TV and the VHSs hit a lot of things, but it still added the vibe. I do miss watching old sci-fi or horror from the 80s on the tube TV and the grittiness of it. But you also learn to appreciate with the high definition and the way they've upgraded a lot of these films, how well the Xenomorph the Xenomorph and Predator hold up. So, and I mentioned Predator because they tie in so much in the lore as it went forward, and it really was a special time period. And you're talking two aliens from outer space, and the Xenomorph and Predator were just such iconic looks that still hold up today. And the fans and what they're doing.
That's what amazes me. They carried on, because I'm seeing at the conventions now 3 generations. I'm seeing my generation when we first saw the first one, and then they showed their children, the one I was in, and then now they're showing their children. So I'm getting the grandparents, the parents, and the child now, because people are also showing the film to younger children, whereas I think when it came out, it was for 18-year-olds.
Right.
But now I think parents are showing it when they're 10 years old, which maybe it's quite a mild horror film now compared to some others, but
well,
Alien felt more horror. Aliens was horror action too. It was a lot more action to it. And Aliens, I mean, the fans will just, I think, not in a bad argument, but a lot of people prefer Aliens over Alien or vice versa. But I think it's loved by both, which I think is amazing at being a sequel and being as loved and revered as the original, which is not easy to do.
It was a very big challenge for Cameron, I think, to do that, because I loved the first one. I thought it was a great film, and I was seeing it. It was something I'd never seen anything like that before. So for him to take that on and actually do as well as the first one, and it's true, there's 2 camps. That some like the first, some like the second better. But I think those 2 films out of the whole franchise seem to be the most popular of the 2, and they've stood up to time. And I think I think they got the storyline right as well. So they're all. It just
the perfect sequels. There's the perfect 1 and 2, and that's very hard to do in film. And Alien and Aliens really did that, where you didn't feel like it skipped a beat. You know,
No.
it really holds together strong. Where sequels back in the day in the 80s, a lot of times they didn't expect the first film to do as well as it did, and they really didn't have any plans for a second. I think they did have plans for Alien, and I have heard it took a long time to get the sequel done, because who wants to watch the space stuff? And that's why I brought up Star Wars, where that was a time where, you know, Star Trek, Star Wars, Alien, Predator, all came out, and it was a big thing in the 80s. A big
it could have come out just at the wrong time, and people would say that this is too much space. We don't need all this space stuff. It's but
visually though. I mean, we had the old, like Beatrice said, the old B movies, you know, the saucer coming down. These movies brought like a different kind of vibe to space, whether it was Alien or Predator, with the ships and what was going on, and different ideas compared to before people came down. So I thought that was really cool in the 80s. And one of the things that I personally love about like Aliens, the journey you go on with the Alien and Aliens and the whole character building. They just got things so right in the 80s, and the fact that it stands up. And now you're doing these conventions, and how's that been? Like interacting with the fans, does it blow your mind? Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, Beatrice, no, she's fabulous with her fans. She's just, you know, they love her. She loves them. She's great. She spends time with them, you know, which I like to do. Talk to them. They ask questions, and you know, and we get dialogue. And it's not always just about aliens. It's they go into, because especially with Aliens, there was quite a few characters in there which people related to. You know, those young girls relate very much to the Vasquez character. She's the one with the bandana on, the little very macho, and a lot of girls admire her as well as Ripley. So the convention, I'm so lucky to be doing them. I really am, because they give so much.
Yeah.
You know, we get gifts from people, and you know, they mean so much. It's well, I actually got one here. This was my first gift I ever got. The Marine, Marine with a face hugger.
Little face hugger on there.
And the guy, awesome. he made. There was about 5 of us from the film, and he sat up all night at the hotel room making these. He made one for each person. I mean so much. You know, it's.
I'll tell you one thing, Carl. Like with you coming to sit with me at Scarefest, just in the Doomsday's Crypt group alone, people are so excited to see you at Scarefest.
Well, I'm excited to go. It's you know, it's just meeting good people, and also it takes me out of my me. I'm very. I don't know. It just brings something out of me when I do conventions that I'm not like in everyday life, and it's for me it's a very positive vibe I get.
Yeah. Well, when I first met Carl, when Carl first started, you know, I mean, I'm fairly new compared to a lot of people at the convention scene, and Carl's even newer. And you know, and when you're a suit actor, you know, then the big challenge is getting people to see your face and know that this is the face of, you know, of the alien. But, you know, fans absolutely adore all the costume actors. I mean, as you know, as you can tell, like obviously in terms of the horror, you know, all the Michael Myers and Jason, and there's many people who've played them, but fans who love the shows and collectors, they don't care if it's 10 people that played it. They want to meet everybody. They, you know, and you were like the alien in this one. So it's super exciting for the fans to have a chance to meet you. You know,
the reaction I get from it is incredible, because
we lost him. We lost him. Oh, there he is.
Oh, there he is.
Came back.
Yeah, keep you big.
There you go.
Oh, you like it better like that?
No, bring him back.
Yeah, there you go, Beatrice.
No.
You're the big man. You're the
good looking dude here.
What was I saying?
About the fans,
when I first started doing the convention, my first convention, I thought, who's going to want to come and see me?
Yeah.
You know, I suppose I'd forgotten about the film sort of over 40 years ago, nearly now. So it was, I thought, gosh, no one's going to want to come and see me. And I was
It's a shock, right?
so overwhelmed that people knew who I was. They knew details about my, the character, which even some things
more than you do. Yeah.
And they're telling me things. I thought, oh gosh, I didn't realize that. And so that was a real eye opener for me, the first one. And then now I've learned it's not just about Alien; it's about them coming to see me,
right?
And we just have a good time, It's and they give so much. There's one guy who sticks in my mind. He was he wanted to be a dancer, and his father wasn't very keen on it. So the father said to me, "Can you just have a word with him?" So the father went away, and I had a chat with the guy, and I said, if you want, if it's something you want to do it. If you fail, you'll fail. But at least you've done it. I went a bit against my parents when I decided to dance. I said, don't go against your parents. Just say you want to try and dance, and if it doesn't work, make sure you have something to fall back on. And so he went away, and then the father came back with the son probably at the end of the day, and he said, "You've changed our lives now because you've explained to him that he needs to do what he wants to do." And the father said that he had been wrong to try and stop him doing something that he wanted to do, even if he failed. And I think the father was more interested in him being successful. That was for the father. That was the most important thing, which is logical.
Financial career.
You want the best for your son, don't you? Or
right.
Your child.
100%.
But I think he after we obviously kept talking, all of us together, and the father said, "Okay, I was wrong. I've got to give him his chance to do it." Right. And even if he fails, it's not a problem, And but like you said, you've got to have something to back that up if you do fail. So, but, there's little moments like that, and it sort of stays with you, and it's no, I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Carl, so that's something that we start to experience doing these shows. The whole idea of celebrity, whatever that means. I think when people have seen us on the big screen, and whether in costume or not, and these films that had an impact on them at a certain point in their life, when they were kids or whatever it was, whether it was something terrified them or moved them or empowered them or whatever, something that sticks with them. It's an honor, and but it also is a real responsibility for us, isn't it?
It is very much, because some of these people, it's their escape. They have tough lives outside in the real world.
Yeah.
And they come to these conventions, and they can actually be something else. They can escape from all that, whatever's going on in their lives outside. They come to these conventions, and they're looking for escapism. I a bit in the whole deal of it. And you've got to make sure that they pass the best moment, even if they're only with you 5 minutes. You've got to give them everything for that 5 minutes. You have to give them everything that you can to make it a positive moment. It's
I honestly think for me as a fan of the series and stuff, somebody like you sitting with me and hanging with me at Scarefest, I think the fans are going to go crazy. I don't even think Beatrice has been to Scarefest. It's a big event. And the fact that you're new at doing these conventions and people getting to meet the alien warrior xenomorph from one of the greatest sci-fi movies of all time. And it really is. I mean, it's not just me saying it. Sci-fi, horror, Aliens is up there. Aliens and Predator, I'd say, are the two top ones. And the fact that the guy who played the alien warrior in Aliens is going to be there. I think people don't realize the fandom. I think when you're at Scarefest, when we're at Scarefest, the excitement's going to really be there.
No, I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of the biggest ones I've done. So it's, and everyone says good things about it. So no,
it's going to be good. It's going to be
we're
good.
going to have a good time. It'll be a good time.
I can't wait for people to be able to meet you because you're a great guy. I've gotten to know you a little bit, and even having you on the show. But like I said, sometimes you don't see it the way others do outside in. The fact that you were the alien warrior xenomorph, like some of the experiences you said, you have that short window that you can make a difference for one of those fans. You're the guy who can do it. And the character you did play in Aliens is a big part of a lot of people's youth, family, kids that they've shared with. It's a special thing you're doing with these conventions, and it's a special.
I've known it's been special because you see these fans, they send me photographs of like their living rooms. It's an alien hive. It's just full. They live for it, and it's like I'm starting to understand it a bit. But
they can teach you about the movies because they've studied every single frame detail in the movie. I mean, you get those fans. Alien and Aliens is that franchise that has those fans that.
Yeah. Well, I'm willing to learn.
They are hardcore.
I'm willing to learn. So.
Oh, I just want to say, so I want to say hello to, well, we've got lots of wonderful, we've had like 130, 40 people watching. Daisy Ellis, hi Daisy. There's a number of people from London and from England that are watching. And Daisy had asked if you would, come to England. That's very doable for you, right, Carl?
Yeah. I did a couple of years ago. I was in London at the London Comic Con.
Right.
But just need to be invited back, really.
There you go. Well,
come on, you promoters out there in the UK. I know there's a lot of great shows going on.
There's some good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, you got the Alien Warrior right around the corner. Just get them in there, and I know the fans are going to be stoked. I mean, you being with the Aliens franchise, like I was saying, you being a huge part of it, and you now doing conventions.
Yeah.
I think the fandom and your support is only going to keep growing and growing and growing. Yeah. And like Beatrice said, they're seeing the man outside the mask and the man you've become over time as well, which a great guy that contributed to an iconic film and franchise. So I think the possibilities with these conventions are just astronomical for you.
No, they are. It's just knowing the right path to take in them. It's keeping your head on your shoulders as well. And giving the best you can for the fans, because it's a bit corny this, but without the fans, these conventions just wouldn't be going anywhere. So
no, 100%.
But that's big what you're doing, and fans see this, especially nowadays with even shows like this. They see you actually care about meeting the fans as well. Oh, we got the wheel up. But they're so excited about that you care back. That goes a long way. Beatrice is one of the greats at that too. She genuinely loves meeting the fans, genuinely enjoys being there and talking about her experiences.
Yeah, Bear she gives 100% when she's with them. It's
she's a pro. She's good. Yeah, she's good. The fans love her.
Well, my fans know.
She is Mama Kruger.
I'm learning from Mama.
There we go, my good young men. Okay, so I had announced that we were going to do a wheel, and because it was so late in the game, I think originally only like 4 people signed up, which are so. But what I did, and I'm not 100% sure if you are all still on, but while we were chit-chatting, I put everybody's name on the wheel that was commenting. So we are going to do a quick little spin, and I think for this one, we will just, whoever gets it, we'll just spin it once. What do you think, John?
I say spin it once. Yeah, we only got so many names on the wheel.
So we're going to give it a spin, and let's see what happens here. Are we ready? Good luck, everybody. And you don't even know what you're winning.
No, I was going to say, what they win.
I showed it. I showed it, though. I did. I brought them up. We're giving away 2 VHS boxes, a Doomsday's Crypt one, but the most important one, the DK and the Bees Horror Buzz. I'll ship them out. I can sign them. If you want Beatrice to sign her DK and the Bee, just let us know, and you can talk to Beatrice, and
we'll figure it out. So whoever wins, you can just DM me with your address and everything on Facebook, and we will send you these 2 amazing mystery boxes that have all kinds of fun little goodies inside them. Do you want to show up
magnets and keychains,
magnets,
and
keychains, all
stickers.
kinds of stuff? And John, once Carl is with you, you can show him them, and maybe at some point, if he's interested, we can make some for aliens.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'd be cool. Like, I think we need to go back to the old school of even though the art's great, put some of the art inside, but the outside of the VHS.
Exactly. Okay, so here we go. We're going to click to spin. Oops.
Okay.
Where it lands, nobody knows. Let's see. But you have to be on when your name is called. Woo! Erica Morganroth. Erica Morganroth, are you on? You have like a few seconds to respond in the responses that you're still watching. If you don't respond, going once, are you still watching?
I'll be right back, B.
Okay. Are you watching going twice? Erica? Sorry. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got another chance. Here we go. We're going to spin it again. I know it's a long show, and some people are at work, so they couldn't stay. But here we go. We're going to spin it again. Brandon. Oh, Gary. Gary Dendo. Gary, are you still on? I know you commented a lot earlier and you had signed up. Gary, just say, I'm still here. Come on, Gary. Come on, Gary. Are you still here? Oh, I feel bad. See, this is the thing. I mean, our awards, we do this. Not many shows do it, where we just give away things for free, but we do that to thank you. I know
Gary's here.
He was here.
He was here.
Yeah. But what are we going to do?
Lunch break is finished.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but there's 100 people watching.
Do for Dondu if he's not here.
Very sorry, Gary. Oh, well. Your name is eliminated. So we do end up spinning it more. Okay, we'll try it one more time. One more time. And Daisy, I hope you're still on. Daisy, you're still on.
Daisy.
Well, because look at Daisy had said she was going to do promotion for your Carl. Oh, Daisy.
Ooh.
Now Daisy's in England, so shipping's going to be crazy. Maybe we'll get Carl to send her something from England. Daisy, come on, Daisy. 150. She was still on 5 minutes ago. Daisy,
all these people are here. They're off their lunch break.
Yeah.
Right. Because this Daisy had said she was going to do some promo for you. Oh my goodness.
Nice.
Well, Daisy, you had been watching for almost an hour. Oh, Dennis is here too. And I'm going to talk to
do this. It's up to you. Since Daisy's not here and Mandu wasn't here either, why don't we send? I think I got one of each. We'll send each one of them one. I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. They came and supported. Yeah.
Okay, but and it says Dissy, but I meant Daisy. But anyway, Daisy. I was quickly adding people to the thing, but she is in England, so that the shipping's going to be quite a bit.
Forget it. You lose, Daisy.
Sorry, Daisy.
I'll send them with Carl.
That's why I think Carl can send like a little signed picture or something from. I'm volunteering, Carl.
It's okay, for our winners and the people that support, a little bit of extra money we got to do to ship as well.
Yeah. All right. So sort of a semi congratulations to nobody.
I know. Well, hopefully we'll let them message you. If somebody messages you and they were on the wheel.
Yeah.
The first person, let's do this. The first person that messages you back about being on the wheel,
right?
Because we know a lot of them, they were here, but weren't able to be there. The first one gets the winner. So,
all right.
Message B.
Message me. So we are almost out of time. It's been wonderful talking to Carl, and we could obviously talk for ages more. But fill us in on what shows people can come see. Oh, Clint Shelton. No,
I know Monster Mania. Karen's excited to meet you. She's not going to be able to make Scarefest.
Yeah, Monster Mania, and I'm doing at the Fright of the Falls in Niagara, Canada.
Right.
That's a good show.
And then I think I might be doing something in San Antonio in one of the shops, American.
At the mall.
It's just a signing in a comic, like one of these shops.
Right.
So merchandise. Looking for a good trip because we're taking a car, so I'm going to discover a bit more of the States while we're out there in between the conventions. I'm going to try and discover a bit more of the States. So I'm pretty excited about the whole thing, but Scarefest, here I come.
Oh, it's going to be fun, man. And it sounds like you're going to be a really, really busy man at these conventions.
Well, let's hope so.
I think if you like travel, I think you're onto good things. I think you're going to be at a lot of them. I think you got a great run with the fans going on. I think you're going to meet a lot of people in the U.S. that, you never know. We might see Carl Toop in some of these movies that come out. Beatrice has been out there, and
exactly.
My friend Ann Myrna,
Hunchbacked aliens.
My friend Ann Myrna, who's with Acrostar Films, is also going to be hanging out with us as well. So you'll get to meet her, and she's really sweet and helpful and nice. And you're going to meet a lot of really, really great people at Scarefest and on this run,
cameo roles,
convention runs that you're on. You're gonna. I think the opportunities and the enjoyment and the fun for you is just starting.
Well, we're just going to look out for having a good time, and that's all we can hope for. It's going to be great.
That's right. You guys are going to really enjoy meeting Carl, and John Zazzulo has stuff for Carl to sign at Monster Mania. There's been a number of people commenting that they're coming to see you.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, we wish we could. All right. So it is 2:00. We do need to sort of sign off. But I'm feeling like a number of these guys are like Clint and everybody. I'm going to spin it one more time. Those of you who have to go, you can go. But I'm going to put it back on because I just feel like, I don't know. That's what
Let's do it. Let's do it. We got enough time to spin the wheel one more time. We want to win.
Okay. All right. So let's see. And I added, I just saw a couple more people. So I added their names.
Come on.
Let's see. And it better
be somebody. You'll be meeting this lady right here. That's my mother. My mother and father will be there. They're excited to meet you.
Oh my goodness. Antonia. Well, she wins all the time.
I think she's cute.
We love you, but you win all the time. Is she even still on?
Tell you what, I got an extra one here, and Tony, I will send you this one. We'll spin it one more time. I'll give you another.
All right.
Autograph. DK.
I mean, half of the things we give away are done by her mom. I mean,
how many have you given away, John?
I don't know. Now we're giving everything away. All right, one more time.
I love giving away.
That's
what we do. It's put smile on people's faces. That's what's important.
All right, last one. Here we go. Dennis Molnar.
Are you here, Dennis?
Dennis, are you on? You're welcome, Antonia. Dennis,
please.
Come
on, Dennis. You were on like 2 minutes ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo! So Dennis has won.
Just message me if you want me to sign both or whatever. That's fine. If you want them clean and you want Beatrice to sign, just let me know. I'll get them out to her.
Well, if you send them to me, Dennis, I know Dennis. He's a dear friend. He's going to be my volunteer at the convention in Westchester in November. I might even see him before then, so I could give it to him then if you want to send it here, and I can sign it, or you can send it to him.
I got till November. All right, Dennis, you are a winner for me as well because I got such a busy couple weeks. I got Halloween Palooza and then Scarefest with Carl coming up, so time is definitely limited for me.
Well, Carl, that's one other thing too. If you find yourself a really amazing handler or volunteer at a show, you can request them when you come back to that show or to go to another show in that area. And it's just lovely to have people you
Yeah.
trust and who are just fun to hang
Yeah.
out with.
They're great because most of them are volunteers as well, and they really do look after us. It's amazing job. Yeah.
Okay, and then very last thing. Again, we're going.
I'm going to throw in the bags too.
You get these awesome
Since
bags,
he's
you
helped
guys.
you out so much. I'll throw in the bags with the
Well,
VHS
So
boxes.
Tony, you get one, and Dennis, you get one. All right, really quick. John, do you have your hand on the laugh track?
On the laugh track, I do not, but I can. Give me one
Tell
second.
me when you're
here.
ready.
I am good.
All right. Okay. Did you hear about the archaeologist who got fired?
I did not hear about that.
Well, now his career is in ruins. Okay.
And the crowd goes wild.
All right.
Yeah, but it's what she's known for, Carl. She cannot. If she did a good joke, it'd ruin the whole theme.
I have to do my terrible joke. Okay, 2 more terrible jokes. How do mice floss their teeth?
How do mice floss their teeth?
With string cheese. All right. And the last, they're really bad. And the last bad joke, because we have to leave you with a bad taste in your mouth. No, I'm just kidding. With a good smile on your face. How do you make a robot angry?
I don't know. How do you make a robot angry?
Keep pushing his buttons.
I gave you the bad line. I'll give you a bad
line. All right. Okay. So that's it. Thank you guys.
Speechless.
Yeah, just incredible humor. So when this goes on as soon as we're finished, it will be on our various Facebook pages. You'll be able to, people who are watching it after the fact, in the comments below, I will put contacts for Carl, his social media, so you can follow Carl if you don't already.
Thank you very much.
And you guys have a fabulous show. I think you're going to really enjoy hanging out with each other.
Yeah, it's going to have a blast.
Yeah.
Scarefest.
And look at that.
Look at that.
That's just
Next
phenomenal.
weekend,
And there's only 5 of them.
Nice signing plate. Take home a memory.
Cool.
Carl's going to be on Scarefest TV live this Friday. He's a real trooper. I think he said it's about 3:00 in the morning.
Boy.
Interview for you. But I think the fans are going to be so excited to talk to you and meet you at Scarefest. And I think this piece, we're going to have 5. You're going to be filled around with xenomorphs. And I think these are going to go really, really fast. So if somebody's interested, let us know beforehand.
All right. And hello, Marie, Mama Henderson. Bye, guys. Take care. Thanks for checking in.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Carl.
Thanks a lot. See you soon.
See you soon.